welcome to J House, where we interview people we admire who have developed skills and created cool things. We want to learn from their experiences to inspire us in our lives.
Today, my 6-year-old Laura and I get to talk with Lily Hevesh, who is a world-class domino artist. At only 21 years old, she's the youngest member of Forbes 30 Under 30 for art and design. She's also been featured on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and The Late Late Show with James Corden. And she has an incredible YouTube channel, Hevesh 5, that is coming up on 1 billion views and over 2 million subscribers. And we're so excited to have the chance to meet her today. Like all of our podcasts, this is also available on our YouTube channel where you will be able to see her actual domino art. So if you are listening but you want to see what she's done, make sure to check out our YouTube channel, J House Podcast. Laura, you've been watching a lot of her videos. What do you think of her channel?
I love your videos.
Thank you, Laura. Appreciate that.
Looking behind you, that is incredible setup.
This is going to be my personal record.
How many dominoes is that?
Currently, I think I have 16,000 dominoes set up, but
Wow.
by the end, when I finish it in like 4 weeks maybe, it'll be around 32,000.
Whoa.
That's so much. That's even more than we have. We only have amount that you buy.
Like 20.
Yeah, just 20.
Hey, that's where I started too. I had a set of 28 dominoes and then it just kind of grew from there.
How did you get started with dominoes?
That's a great question. I was about 9 years old when I first started, and my grandparents, they had the normal set of dominoes with the dots, and I would just set them up and then knock them down for fun. And I really loved watching them fall for some reason. Like, it was very hypnotizing for me to see a chain of dominoes fall over, which made me think, like, maybe there's domino videos on YouTube that I could just keep watching all these cool projects. So I typed in dominoes on YouTube, and I found like hundreds of amazing videos where people would build like pictures out of dominoes and build 3D structures and all these elaborate designs, which kind of blew my mind at the time because I thought a domino line was just the only thing you could do with dominoes, but you could take it to a whole new level and be so artistic with it. And just watching all those videos kind of inspired me to get more dominoes and try some of those tricks that I saw. And now I'm still doing it 11 years later.
What led to you actually starting a YouTube channel? Why did you decide to do that beyond just making and playing with dominoes?
So on YouTube, I saw that there was this community of people who built dominoes, and I kind of wanted to be a part of that. Like, I thought it was super cool to be able to post a domino project that I made in my house, share it with the world, and have other domino builders from, Europe and Canada commenting on it and giving feedback, and just seeing that like interaction between other people who loved the same hobby as I did was super cool, and it kind of motivated me to keep posting and keep just making videos because people seem to really like it.
It's one of the things I really love with your channel is that we get to see the entire journey. You started with just very basic dominoes, very small sets, and then built up. And it wasn't until 5 years after you started posting where you had your first viral video. What was that like?
Yeah, my first viral video, it was called Insane Domino Tricks. In like 3 days or something, it got 3 million views. It was so crazy because I remember it was on the front page of Reddit, it was on the front page of YouTube, and then from there it got picked up by like so many news outlets who wanted to feature the story and do interviews and things like that. I remember refreshing the page on my YouTube channel and seeing the view count go up by like 5,000 views every time I refreshed, which was mind-boggling.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Kind of shaking as that was happening, but that totally launched my channel from like 25,000 subscribers up to 250,000 subscribers within a few months, and that's kind of where it all snowballed, and now my channel has over 2 million subscribers, which is incredible.
What do you like about dominoes?
The thing I love about dominoes is the fact that you can build something and also knock it down. So it has a purpose. You're not just making something necessarily to look cool, but you're making like kinetic art that's made to move. I think that's super cool.
What's the hard part about Domino's?
I'd say the most difficult part about building dominoes is trying to make sure you don't knock it down by accident.
Yeah.
As you can imagine, like just one small bump is enough to ruin a whole project that you've made. Maybe you've spent days working on. You have to be extremely careful with knowing where your body is at all times, being very precise with placing pieces so nothing is on the edge. Preventing fails is probably the biggest thing.
Do you have stop gaps or areas where you have holes in the build so that it won't knock everything down if something does slip?
Yeah, there's actually exactly that. We call it safety gaps, where we'll take out 5 consecutive dominoes here and there. And then if we knock it down by accident, it'll just stop at that one gap instead of knocking over the entire project. And then at the very end, you just fill in the gaps really carefully.
Can you think of the worst fail that you had? Like, what was the time where it was the most devastating situation where things fell that weren't supposed to, that you had to deal with?
Yeah, so one time my friend and I were building the second largest domino tower in America, and we were pretty close. We were like maybe 13 layers away from finishing or something.
Yeah.
And we were getting to the top, but I remember placing a piece, and then very slowly I see the tower at the top starting to tip.
No.
And it tips a little more, and then it just falls all the way to the ground, and I'm watching it just like, oh my gosh, that really happened? Yeah, it just fell. But we got it on camera too, which made a really nice fail video.
You like work so hard and then you see it knocked down, and then all that hard work it's done.
Yep, it's done. But then you get to watch it back on YouTube. That's the best part.
What advice do you have for kids who like to do dominoes?
My advice for kids who want to get into dominoes is to go slow when you're building and know that it's okay if it falls over by accident. It's part of the process. Fails are sometimes sad and can be frustrating to deal with, but just keep picking up the dominoes, try again, make sure you use safety gaps, and the more you build, the more you'll get better.
What have you found have been the principles that you've learned from doing dominoes that have helped you in other aspects of your life?
I think I've learned a lot about patience when building dominoes, because of course you're going to be, on the ground spending maybe days setting up a project. I've learned that if you want good results for something, you got to be patient. It takes time to get good and to finish a project that you've been working on. And at the end of it, it's worth it. I think if you're able to wait it out and make something that takes a while and is really good, people will appreciate that.
What's your favorite video that you've made?
My favorite video that I've made is my personal record, my previous personal record. This is the new one that I'm working on, but my old one has 30,000 dominoes, and it was to celebrate 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Yeah. And it uses 2 levels where the dominoes start at the top, then go down the stairs, then back up, and then back down again. And it uses a lot of really cool tricks in unique ways, as well as other objects besides dominoes. And I think it's one of my most impressive and surprising setups on Hevesh 5.
I love the pictures of dominoes because they're just like the characters, but they're in dominoes.
Your Isaac Newton one, for example, was so detailed. How do you create that kind of art using dominoes?
Yeah, so the images that you see built out of dominoes, we plan them out on the computer. We have a program where you can take any image and then that'll transform that into the pixel art version of the image based on the number of dominoes you have and the number of colors you have. And it'll say like row 1, 3 red, 1 blue, 1 white, and lists it all out for each row. And then you take a template, it looks like a comb, where you place the dominoes inside the prongs and it spaces it evenly.
Now, you also do a lot more than just knocking over dominoes. You do many of the chain reactions, and I've seen a lot of creative things you've used. What have been some of your favorite alternatives to dominoes where you use? I've seen you use sheet music and cards.
Yeah, I love working with popsicle sticks. You can weave them together and it makes what's called a popsicle stick bomb. So when you take one out, the tension is released and they all kind of fly up in the air in the chain reaction. That's one of my favorites. I also like working with like marbles and ramps and chain reaction / Rube Goldberg type things.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, those could use any kind of objects. You take an object and you turn it into a kinetic art piece. So you get really creative with dominoes and chain reactions. I feel like the limits are just, there's no limits.
What are you looking forward to over these next 5-10 years with your career as a domino artist?
I hope that I can just get domino art more out there in the world. I've learned a lot from dominoes, and I feel like other people getting into dominoes and doing something physical, not just on their screen, is a great way to just be stimulated and get creative and do something fun.
Seems like one of the main keys of making that happen is improving the quality of the dominoes kids are playing with. Because our kids were playing with the typical dominoes where they have numbers on them and they have rounded curves and they're not very thick and they're hard to play with. And so something like what you're working with Spin Master, I think could really improve the playing of it because it's better dominoes to work with.
Yeah, we're making H5 domino creations, which is precision, like molded, super square edges, and they're perfect for toppling because now you'll be able to build much taller structures. It'll be easier to balance when you stand them up, and they have much better colors without any dots. So you're able to make really cool designs, make faces that I know you like, and get really creative with it.
So many kids right now want to become YouTubers and they want to find their niche. And you did it because you worked so hard and so long and you mastered something and you've continued to take it to new heights and new levels. What are other ways people can follow you? I mean, I know your YouTube channel is Hevesh5. What are other ways people can follow you or other places people can go to see what you're up to?
You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok at Hevesh5, same username as YouTube. And just be waiting for the dominoes to come out this fall. H5 Domino Creations will be in Walmart and on Amazon.
Thank you so much, Lily. We'll keep in touch.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Laura.
Thanks for joining us today. If you liked what you heard, we'd love for you to leave a podcast review.
Thanks for listening. J House out.